Thank you very much, Susan, and thank you for the introduction. So I am very happy to be here today in this short format webinar, which I think is going to be lots of fun. I practice in the fields of mindfulness and also character strengths, amongst others, particularly with project managers. My tribe is project managers, and I feel that we are somewhat underserved with some of the management content that's out there, and also some of the sort of support tools for us personally. So I love to build mindfulness into everything that I do, and also leverage character strengths as a way of building us up and also building up our teams. So the format of these sessions is going to be that we will start with a little mindfulness moment, something that you can practice very quickly on your own. And I've had feedback from project managers that they really like the tool that we're about to use. I'm going to share some character strengths facts with you so that you understand why they matter, why we're talking about them. We're going to discuss one personal practice, and you will also have access to a link that allows you to take the free VIA character strengths assessment, which will rank your 24 strengths for you. And then we'll revisit the mindfulness at the end, and I'll explain why we do that when we get there. And then we'll just mention a little about what we're going to talk about next time. And if you have questions, please feel free to put them into the Q&A box. I will try and integrate them into what I'm talking about. And if not, we will try and incorporate them at the end without making the session go too long. So with that, we're going to move on to our mindfulness practice. And this wheel here is Robert Plutchik's Wheel of Emotions. It is, you can Google that, and it is public domain. So I've had people who've gone off and printed this out for themselves after we do this exercise. What I'm going to invite you to do, these are a sampling of the kind of emotions that we feel. And what I'm going to invite you to do is recognize that every one of you is coming to this webinar from something else. So you've made a transition. And there are many transitions that we make throughout the day, from meetings to doing desk work, from talking to an individual to talking to a group, to preparing emails and so on throughout our work life. And when we have one interaction with people, we have certain emotional responses, and we tend to carry those emotions forward with us unless we take a pause and think about what are we feeling. So as you make this transition into this webinar, I'm going to give you a moment of quiet to look at this wheel, this daisy, I'd like to call it, and consider which emotions are you feeling as you come into this webinar. And remember, you may feel conflicting emotions about different things. So you could be feeling joy about some great news you've had, some apprehension about a difficult meeting you're anticipating this afternoon, and so on. So just take a look, check in, see what emotions you're feeling in this moment, and then think about which ones are helpful to you to hang on to as we continue this session, and which ones do you just want to let be. And I'll give you a few seconds to just look this over and have that thought. So I'm not asking anyone to share this. This is very personal to you. Sometimes people do, but I'm not actually requesting that. I hope you took a moment there and thought about what emotions you're feeling and just checked in. And this is a moment of mindfulness. I have a lot of project managers, as I say, that use this throughout the day as they're going from one thing to another to just do that quick check-in and see where they're at. And we will come back to this at the end, and you'll have an opportunity to see how this can help and what it does for us. So moving on to our character strengths. Why do I work with character strengths? These were researched by the VIA Institute on Character in the early 2000s, led by Dr. Martin Seligman. Some people may have heard of him because of learned helplessness and learned optimism theories. And he was the chairman of the American Psychological Association, and he became very passionate about looking at what makes us flourish as opposed to fixing deficits. Our focus in psychology traditionally, so young science, but the focus has been on getting people from -5 to 0, bringing them back to a sort of central line of being okay. And what he asked was, well, what takes people further than that? What takes people past the middle ground and into an area where they're flourishing? And so he and Christopher Peterson led a scientific team of about 55 people who researched these traits that we have, they're positive personality traits. And they researched for about 3.5 years. And at the end of their research, what they shared was 24 strengths that we're going to look at in a minute that are universal. That means that every culture, every ethnicity, every religion, they're recognizable in every language, that everybody recognizes these 24. And one of the reasons why we focus on 24 is that some countries and cultures and religions highlight other things that they claim as being character strengths, and we don't include those unless they're universally recognized. So, for example, there's been a case made by some scientists in the US that achievement or accomplishment is a strength. And that is something that tends to be valued here and quite often valued in the West. It's not valued so much in other cultures, and so it doesn't meet that criterion of being universal. They are ubiquitous, which means that they are with us all the time. We don't turn off our character strengths. They're in everything we do, and we bring them forward. We can easily spot them, and that's one of the things I love about the VIA Character Strength Survey, is that the language of the strengths is something that's very easy to understand. You immediately have an idea of what these strengths mean just by the name that's given to them, which isn't always true of other tools that we can use. And they're all positive. They're positive personality traits that we all have. We all have all 24 to some degree. We have some strengths that we use more and others that are a little harder work to use. And they are positive in that when we express our strengths, we don't take away from anyone else. It's not a negative for anyone else that we're using our strengths. So why do we care? Okay, so these are interesting. Character strengths seem to be positive. They're something we all share. Hopefully we can leverage them, but why do we want to? What does the research tell us? So research has shown, and there's a great study from Lucy Hone in New Zealand that these numbers are based on. Her research showed that when people are aware of what their character strengths are, so they either take a look at the list of strengths and highlight for themselves which ones they think are core to them, or they take the survey and find out which their top strengths are, they are 9 times more likely to feel that they're flourishing because they're aware of those positive traits in them. People get excited about those traits. People who not only are aware of their strengths, but at the same time focus on them and take active steps to use them in a conscious, thoughtful, mindful way, are 18 times more likely to be flourishing. And when we appreciate other people's strengths, we contribute to their well-being and help them to be 29 times more likely to report that they're flourishing. So that means that if the person is aware, they're having opportunities to really actively use their strengths in the workplace, and we show appreciation for those strengths to them, we're helping them to be 29 times more likely to report that they are flourishing, that they have a good life, that their well-being levels are really, really.
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.